Took everything, ain't nothing left. Count your blessings, count your steps. At your throat like we that strap. It's way too cold under the flesh. All we ball, but we don't mesh. All we drink, leave us a mess. Down on my drawers, it is old news.
Good morning. Hello, friends. Good morning, Bougie Gang. How's everybody doing? Good morning. Did you guys have a good evening last night? Let me tell you something. I love the cold weather, but I don't like being in the cold weather. I like fireplaces. I like hot chocolate, hot beverages, fireplaces, warm winter clothing, fur jackets, stuff like that. But as far as being out in, like, it's so cold. It's 22 degrees. On my computer right now, it says 22 degrees and snow. I did ask Alexa this morning, were we getting snow? And she said possibly around 5 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my God, please no. Anyway, I'm watching some of the highlights. I'm not going to talk about the inauguration, but I am looking at some of the highlights, some of Melania's fashions. Interesting choices. They had a lot of talk about her hat yesterday. Okay. All right. I guess I've scrolled through. She had on like a black and white number. Okay. All right. Moving right along. Okay, let's get into it, guys. Paloma came back, Miss Dowdy, and I was checking on the Maryland website. She has court on Wednesday. They're back in family court. There's a scheduling conference on February 7th. There is a court date, there's a family court location. Let's see. There's a hearing on January 22nd. Hold on. Girl, I'm trying to fix my screen. They have a court date on tomorrow, right? And they have a conference on February 7th. Is this in order? Yeah. Anyway, this is the divorce with her and her husband, that whole thing. Look, she claims that we'll listen to this. She feels like no one's believing her. She said the authorities are failing, the internet is failing, everybody is failing, helping her. But I don't know. I don't know what's, this is what I've said, and this is what I've always said. You're not believable, sis. For whatever reason, this woman comes with a certain level of the shits, and nobody's believing her. And as far as the kids are concerned, if the kids have been violated, then maybe she needs to separate her animus, her negativity towards her husband, and make it solely about the kids so that they can get justice and get the help that they need, versus trying to tie in him, her relationship with him. I don't know, but I don't know. I can't really say why the people are not believing their story. I don't know. Let's listen because she's going to talk about it. Oh, I'm looking at the comments from yesterday really quick. Chrissy just needs to stop. Chrissy just talks too much because why would you say that? Girl, I could think of a couple of reasons. Talking too much is definitely one of them, but a mess. Anyway, we're just gonna. Okay.
Hi everyone.
Hi
Welcome
everyone.
back to my YouTube channel. I,
Hi everyone.
as you know, have taken a long break.
Girl, were you even doing this full time to begin with? Like, you've taken a long break. She acts like people were missing. Like, girl, I can't wait for the daily drop of Paloma's channel. Paloma was dropping recycled advice that she took from several other content creators and sat up there and dressed like Sweetie and Cardi B and tried to pretend like she came up with this stuff on her own and messed up. She fucked around and found out that using this type of advice and using it in the wrong way will have you out here looking real stupid. That's what she found out. And then so you put up this video, another styled video. Now you're broke, but you have a very nicely styled Christmas tree. And okay.
Because everything from the last video was just a lot. I didn't plan on the video going viral. Really was just trying to update my current subscribers at the time on what was going on in my life. It just got bigger than I thought it would get. And
got called on my bullshit.
I just wasn't mentally prepared for all of that. There were a lot of you who were very kind and supportive.
Who hates the way she talks? Like, the way she talks is so annoying. It's annoying. Is it just me? Yeah, she sounds like she's on medication.
And
Supportive.
And you shared your own testimonies. There was honestly more comments than I could even keep up with. I feel like in this day and age, we have to make it okay for people to share the truth. Seems like every time someone speaks out against a predator.
Okay, Paloma, it's okay to share the truth. It's also become okay for people to share lies. And when you are not a credible person, people are going to try to figure out what's the truth and what's the lie. And you've been busted in a couple of lies, so nobody knows what the truth is from you. That's the problem.
They are often shamed or bullied or backed into a corner. And for the most part, that's why I felt like I couldn't say anything. I felt like I've been backed into a corner. My soon-to-be ex-husband is filing things against me to try to stop me from making videos or take down my video talking about his crimes. It's unfortunate that so many times people will protect the predator, especially their family members will come on and say that, oh, this person would never do this. Meanwhile, they haven't had a relationship with that person in forever. And I don't see many people coming on and defending me and my children. However, there were a few content creators that I want to thank. Tisa Tells, I know she was very supportive. Tanya TKO was very supportive. There was a lot of content creators who were very supportive. And I really want to thank everyone who took the time to donate. It took a lot for me to humble myself to even create the GoFundMe. And after so many comments of people asking how they can donate and me knowing that I was in a position of need, that I am in a position of need, and I'm trying to take care of my 5 children. I'm still a nursing mother. My son just hit 7 months old. So
all of these things are not our problem. You chose a particular lifestyle where you took yourself out of the job market, you reduced your money, you pretended that you had a high value man and you did not. You pretended that you had a guy that was a good guy, and you said that early on in the relationship he was sexually assaulting you. So you chose to make lemonade, and then you had 3 kids in a lemonade situation, and then you want people to feel sorry for you. Also, you got caught in lies, and you want people to believe that this man is doing something to the children. Now, that might very well be true. We don't have any evidence about that other than your word, and your word is not reliable. And if the police, which she's going to get to this, if the police are telling her that they need more information, or I guess it's not giving them enough, then there's problems with your story, ma'am. Whatever they're seeing on the children's bodies and whatever exams they're able to do is not matching up with the storyline. You can't just throw people in jail because you say so. If the children's stories and the children's physical examination and examination by whatever doctors they have assess the situation doesn't match up with your storyline, you can't get mad at the internet.
It's been a lot. This was never what I had intended. I loved my husband. I think that a lot of people that followed me knew that I loved my husband and I loved our family. And I thought that, this was the man that I was going to be married to for the rest of my life. And I don't think people can understand the level of betrayal. I don't think people understand just.
If the man assaulted the kids, the man assaulted the kids. I find it hard to believe, if the man is still staying in that house, why you would still subject your children to that man. Most people would be like in hiding. So people who have these type of situations, they go run to a hotel. They're living in someone's garage apartment. They're just trying to get away from the predator, right? So, but you're still living in the same house, arguing, bickering back and forth.
The level of hurt that this has caused our family. And I hate that, when people sit there and call me a liar, you're not calling me a liar. You're not calling me a liar. You're calling my daughter a liar, because I have been nothing but her voice. She is the one that has told me that her father did this to her. She is the one that told multiple professionals that her father has done this to her.
You are the one who told us you had a high value man. You are the one that said he was awesome. You are the one who said he was wonderful. You're a liar. Nobody's calling your daughter a liar. The police are calling your daughter a liar. If the police don't believe you and your kid's story, that's what's going on. You need to talk to the police. The internet is not calling your daughter a liar. The internet is calling you out on the lies that you told before that even came into play.
Her. And not only are we
she's annoying,
ridiculed by the public, but now law enforcement has refused to help us due to my child's age. What they're basically saying is that they're declining the case due to my daughter being so young. They don't want to put her on the stand. It's like, how? I can't take this for an answer. I can't.
How many babies have been sexually assaulted and can't speak for themselves, but the evidence shows that there was something vile, there was some sort of assault, and that there's been some sort of violation? I feel like I've heard of babies being able to be examined and be assessed, and for them to be able to make a clear distinction that there is something out of order, right? That's a lie. So if they feel like they need to put your baby on the stand, then the physical evidence doesn't show. Because if there was a broken hymen, if there was the evidence to show something not consistent with what the area should look like at that age, and it's looking different, these doctors go to school for a very long time and study the anatomy for a very long time. These criminal forensic physicians who see this type of assault, they study pictures and photographs. They know exactly what to look for in these situations. Girl, who are you talking to?
How can a mother take this for an answer? So you mean to tell me that this man does not have to register to be a sex offender? He's hurt my children and he's trying to gain visitation. And so many people have told me that they have lost faith in the law. Sadly, that has been our story too. And I am at a loss as to what to do. I am fighting a man that has much more resources than I do. I'm fighting a man that can afford to keep filing things at every chance. And this has been the hardest battle of my life. And if it weren't for Jesus Christ, like, I just don't know where I'd be right now. And people think that this is entertainment, but this is my real life. This is my baby's real lives. And for people to make a mockery of what I've shared and even have the nerve to say that I would allow such a thing or have knowledge of such a thing is just disgusting to me, because anyone that knows me knows that I love my children. I don't know what this channel has become. I guess it's just become like a video diary of injustice. I mean, what do I call this? All I can do is just
This is just a video diary of injustice. She's pissed. She's so mad. Paloma, you needed to think before you posted this video. That's why you gained all those subscribers. You have almost 70,000 subscribers now and 10,000 views. And the last video had over 2 million. No one was checking for this part 2. All of your supporters, nobody's turning out. And it's been like 2 days. I purposely didn't even bother to watch this video when I saw it drop like 2 days ago. I wanted to see what it was going to do, because the last time it had like 1 million views in like a day or two, right? It was zooming. Now it's got 10,000. Nobody cares anymore. There's too many holes in your story.
pray that this man never gets close to my children again. That's all I can do at this point. Luckily, I have my protective order, and that protects me and my children. But what about the other people that may come in contact with him? What about the other children that may come in contact with this man? It's only by the grace of God if people have just so happened to find out who he is and avoid him at all costs. But I'm just beside myself that this has been the answer that my baby girl has been given.
You know, the sister-in-law probably, or whatever, the niece, girl, Niecy Poo is probably trying to drag out a wig right now. The niece is probably trying to drag a old nasty, dirty blonde wig out the back of her closet and go and sit and do another rebuttal video.
And I've had to go and tell her that this is what's happening. And I've been transparent with her, and I've let her know that this isn't right. And, you know, I've been trying my best to make sure that this man goes to jail, emailing constantly, calling constantly to the state's attorney, to the detective. And this is the answer that I've been given. She's too young. Maybe we can try it again in a few years when she's a little bit older. And to me, that's just not good enough. So if there's anybody that has ever gone through this, that knows what to do in this case, I would love to know.
What to do when you're not
no
believed by authorities.
Allowed to happen, and this man can just be allowed to walk free and continue to go about his life after he has abused our children. So I think that this channel is, if I can continue to make content, I don't know, the court date is coming up this week, but I think this channel is just going to turn into like vlog style content of us healing and recovering. Thanks to your donations, I've been able to get a lawyer. I've been able to move back into the house because it's been very expensive to come back and be here on my own with all of my children. So your donations have helped immensely. And it's sad that so many people tried to report my GoFundMe, to say that this is a scam. Like, who would make this up? Just the mother of children who have
tried to report my GoFundMe,
and I'm trying to provide them with safety and keep him away from them. I don't think that that is anything to be ridiculed about. And I think that the only topic of discussion here is the fact that this man is a known free predator. That is what the topic of discussion here should be. People want to make this about everything else other than the fact that this man hurt his children. Thank you to everyone who has been supportive. And, you know, it's time to get back to recording content. And I know a lot of people wanted to say
it's time to get back to recording content, everybody.
Hi,
let me get my content out.
Here to piss you off, showing up for work. So
Ooh, she's back
yeah,
to
I
report for
just want to
work,
thank you
post her
again to everyone
content.
who has been supportive, everyone who's donated, can still donate, and the way to do so will be in the description box below. If you all could please just let me know what type of content that you guys would like to see. Like I said, I will be doing some type of vlog content. You know, just
Hey
healing this
guys,
journey of recovering.
outside of the sexual assaults, I'm getting ready to start on my new content. Can you drop down below? Let me know what you want to see. Do you want to see skits? Do you want to see walks in the park? Would you like to see cooking? Would you like to see my new stepdaddy season series? Like, what next? What next? What are we gonna do? It's gonna be some vlog style content. Hey, I'm going to do divorce content. Do you guys want me to take you on my divorce journey? And do you want me to take you on stepdaddy season content?
Going through the divorce, making content is no longer an option, as I
You
said
want
it
her
was
to
at
go
one
away?
point. My main concern has always been the well-being of my children, and you know, I just thank you for everyone who has checked on us and who has sent us encouragement. You know, there's one content creator, Persian Daltero. She has fought in the comments for me like no other, and I just want to say thank you so much. You have just been an angel, a complete angel. I wish this video could have been longer, but as you all know, I am
Girl,
a solo
no
mommy
thank you.
now, and that is completely okay with me. And I do want to report that my babies are happy and healthy and loved and safe. And there's some people that want to label me as, oh, she's the worst mom ever and all this type of stuff, but my babies constantly tell me that I'm the best mommy in the whole wide world. And no matter who
Because
you are.
that's all they know. They don't know any different. Okay. Guys, take a look at this. OJ, Mr. Orenthro J, Dowdy. There's no criminal anything on his name. Okay, hold on. Mr. OJ. So there's some sort of civil matter between Paloma and OJ that I believe she is appealing. Then there is a traffic ticket. Girl, October 23rd, a traffic ticket. Then there was some sort of domestic situation. Hold on, where was it? Divorce. There's the divorce. And then there's the domestic. This was the domestic violence abuse situation, which I think got thrown out. And then they're appealing it down here. I think that's what that is. 1169. Hold on. Let me take a look at it before I pull it up because God only knows. Is he appealing this final? Okay, this is the one where she told them that he was abusing, but there's no criminal charges. So this is all civil matter, domestic filing. Shall not abuse. That's obvious. Doesn't mean that he abused the kids, but according to her, whatever she said, so that's what the judge put on the court order, but that doesn't mean that he was abusing the kids. But the court order or the stay away order or order protection, shall not abuse, shall not contact, shall not enter residence, respondent shall vacate the home. So that's why she's back in the house. Emergency maintenance, use and possession of vehicles, surrender firearms, pay costs. So that is what he is appealing down here, I think. Let me go to that one and see. He's appealing the civil order, and they're going to court tomorrow. Probably his lawyer is going to ask for more proof to keep this man from his kids, that there's no proof based on the police investigation, and the police have basically pushed, are no longer investigating. Because based on what she's saying, they said that the kids need to be older for them to do further investigation. She said, put them on the stand. Where's the case? So it's not even put them on the stand. It's like they haven't even filed charges. So if they can't file charges, there's no proof. So now he's appealing. And you know what I mean? Let's not pretend that there's not people out here who lie. For all the people that are in distress, for all the women who are beaten and children who are abused and have to endure this type of drama for a long time, then you also have people who lie. I don't know if this woman is lying or not. It's just we have caught her based on her YouTube channel in a lot of storytelling. So based on that, it just you become less credible. So people question everything. I don't know what her story is or not, but the fact that the police have not pressed charges, the fact that they're not pursuing anything, there's not enough for them to charge this man for a very serious crime against his own child. That's it. There's not enough. If he did what you said he did, he should be under the jail right now. That's it. You see, with the Jarvis Butts case on my other channel, we're talking about Jarvis Butts. This man has been sexually assaulting children for a long time. If they can find that a 4-year-old has a sexually transmitted disease, come on now. That doesn't make any sense that the police can't seem to get to the bottom of whether what you're saying is true and valid to give him criminal charges. And just the fact that she's lied on other occasions just makes her less credible. Yeah, I don't, if her kids were assaulted, I feel like the police should be able to tell something. They should be able to show the signs of mental trauma, fear, or that something happened. They should be able to check their bodies to see if there was some sort of uh manipulation or something. I don't want to use all the words, but that there is evidence in the body that shows something that happened. Okay. If they can't see any of that and she has let the kids be examined, then they would be filing criminal charges. There are people every day who are arrested for assaulting and raping little ones. So if that's the case, why hasn't the Maryland police been able to make that determination? That doesn't seem right. Not even just the therapist. She says that he penetrated. So the medical doctors could check their bodies to see if the hymen is intact and or if they show signs that the body has been abused. Just the physical evidence from being able to, I mean, I don't know. Come on now. If he's doing what she says he's doing, it's not even the kid needs to talk. The kid needs to be examined. Once the child is examined, you can see. Most people have an intact hymen. Most women, young girls, have an intact hymen unless they are very physical, gymnastics, very physical activities where it might break naturally, but the hymen would be intact. If there was some sort of X act, then that would not be there. And that's not normal for a child. If she says what happened, baby, come on. Well, and depending on what he did, maybe he didn't do everything. Maybe he's done some things. I get it. This is my thing with Paloma. She's lied about other things. So she expects the internet to buy this whole entire story. And no one's I mean, I'm not gonna say no one's buying it. I'm not buying it. I just feel like there's something that's not credible about her story. There's something that's just not credible. It doesn't mean that the kids weren't abused. I would hope the kids weren't abused. That would be my wish for the children, is that the children are okay. It would be very sad that mom's a liar and she's running around telling this story, but in the event that the kids were abused, obviously, I think the most important thing is to get them away from the father, which she's done. And it's like, why make this into content? You know what I mean? Why make it into content? And then part of the content is shaming people for not believing her. Why don't you just go on about your business and drop your content, and it is what it is. People don't believe you, they don't believe you. At the end of the day, she sold a particular type of lifestyle to her audience that was not the case. It was, she made her relationship seem to be more what it is than it wasn't, more to be what she wanted us to think it would be, and it wasn't that. And then when I guess everything fell apart with the relationship, oh, by the way, he raped me a couple of weeks into the relationship. So basically, for 3 years, you're putting up content regarding a wonderful husband being showered with gifts and well taken care of. Meanwhile, the story really is that he was no good. He was this, he was that. It's like in front of the camera, I was selling classes on how to be a well taken care of stay-at-home wife. Meanwhile, this is what was really going on my husband. And then, oh, and by the way, on top of that, guess what, guys? He was abusing my daughters. It's like too much. It's like, sis, really? Thank you for dropping that off right before the holidays. You want everybody to now know, like, your marriage fell apart. You lied to the internet about what was really going on. You tried to drag other content creators in it with you for you making the decisions that you made. And then you're upset because then you become upset because the internet wasn't fully jumping on to, let's vilify this black man story. At the end of the day, nobody told you to be like, you are the one who moved in and married him within weeks. He was second choice. He was second choice. You were with someone else. That didn't work out. You went to be with him, married him, and then it doesn't work out. Okay, that happens to a lot of people. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's a pile-on of, let me give all the reasons why I need to have a quick and speedy divorce. I think she doesn't like him. I think that she realized she made a mistake and she doesn't want him in her life anymore. And it's possible she could have manufactured this story to try to sever her relationship with him once and for all, because she didn't have a relationship with her father. She doesn't necessarily see the value in her kids having a relationship with their father, even though she has two other kids with two other fathers, and one wants to be, they're trying to be, I guess, as active as they possibly can. I don't know. She's a mess. If I remember, didn't she need a place to stay? Well, she was breaking up with the other guy, and he just so happened to call her, and she did need a place to stay, but she was going to stay somewhere else. And he said she could move in, but they were going to have to be married. And she was like, okay. I just wonder. And then on top of that, I just wonder, why continue to drag the kids? Like, hey guys, My last video went viral. I'm still working on some things with my soon to be ex-husband. I'm working to keep my kids safe and happy first and foremost. We're moving on. I'm not going to really continue to try to drag them. I know people believe some things and don't believe other things, and that's fine. But as the mom, I'm going to protect them as much as I possibly can. And we're just moving through the process, and I'll let you guys know when everything is done. And I've come to, and there's been some sort of resolve. Why don't you just leave them out of it? Why is it so? This is my question to the sis. Like, why is it so important that she make the internet believe what happened with Mr. Dowdy? Why is it? She wasn't doing a family channel. She wasn't doing a family channel. The kids were featured on her channel, like she showed their pictures and stuff like that. I'm just wondering why it's so important that every time she sits down, it is so important for us to believe what she said happened with the other children rather than to just handle it, make sure they're happy, make sure they're healthy, make sure they're safe, and stop subjecting them to the court of public opinion's ridicule based on mommy being busted out in some lies. So it's not even a fact of the children lying, it's just a fact of the credibility is hard to summon when the narrator is not reliable. She's an unreliable narrator. Nobody really, it's hard to believe her story, especially when the receipts don't add up. The receipts are not even showing a case, if I remember. Okay. I think she wants his house and his money. Okay. That's a possibility. It's just not lining up. Now, it's possible because a 4-year-old is very young. Yeah. Well, and Simon has the money to play with Portia. Okay. Simon, and like every day I get an alert because I follow the case. Every day I get an alert about another file being dropped. Simon's lawyer, oh, you dropped a file, you dropped a motion, I'm gonna drop two. It's like Diddy's lawyer. Diddy's lawyer damn near files a paper every day with New York City. And I'm not even talking about the lawsuit. I'm talking about the criminal action because that's the one I'm not following the Jane Doe or the Rodney. I guess I do. I get the alerts, but I'm not following it as closely because that Agnifilo, baby, that lawyer, they file papers twice a day. It's so much. Right. There's a way to tell, like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, guys, I never thought that video would go viral. And I know a lot of you guys had questions. And I think just moving forward, I'm gonna, I'm gonna keep the details. And once everything is sorted and finalized, I'll let you guys know. I'm just if you're a supporter, I'm just asking that keep us in your prayers for a positive outcome. Like there's so many different ways to just say I'm not going to talk about it, and also I'm not going to talk about it. But to keep trying to make everybody buy your story is just ridiculous because especially when for whatever reason people are not buying the story. And maybe it's because the receipts are not adding up. The receipts are not there. There's no arrest for Mr. Dowdy. There's no even arrest and release. You can see if someone was arrested. The way Maryland's docket sheets are set up, if there was a criminal proceeding against him, you would see that he had been arrested for something, right? There's no arrests on his docket. When you look up his name, you look up Paloma's name, he hadn't even been arrested. So it wasn't even like an arrest and cleared of charges. It was a temporary restraining order from a divorce. if she went to the police like she said she did, and they examined children, uh, there's no arrest. There's nothing. Everything is civil. I think she wants to have a clean break from this guy and have him severed from the kids. Like maybe she hates him. I don't know. I can't imagine. Yes. Simon's like, you know, girl, Simon could be hurt. We don't know. Simon, like I said, if Portia files something, Simon's filing something. If Simon files something, Portia's lawyer's filing too. Like they keep it's a lot. It's a lot. I wish I would have started talking about it when it actually started because there's so many documents in the case. If I can make heads or tails of it, maybe we will talk about it. Um I- it's it's a long divorce. It's a long divorce. Hopefully Portia's not going to go through this whole thing again and end up with nothing like she did with Cordell. I mean, Portia ended up getting like her SU. She basically got a few things and I don't think really any money. I mean, it's like what are you arguing for? And I think she's trying to keep that house. She wants her Bentley. I need to go back through the documents and see. She's trying to hold on to a few things that Simon could just let her have, but maybe he feels bamboozled. I don't know. But you know, that's the price that you pay for ditching your wife for her coworker. Like Simon's no prince, you know. Simon, you know, that was messed up. Now, was Fallon super upset? I mean, Fallon went out, found a new dude, and had a baby. So, I mean, I guess I guess Fallon's okay. But these people play. I'm sorry. Some of these people play dirty. You cannot go to my job and think you're going to be in peace ditching me for a coworker. Okay, that ain't happening. That would be on some. You will never have a peaceful day for the rest of your life, girl. Cordell sent Portia packing. Okay, he sent her packing. Okay, let's hear the little bit of rest.
Report that my babies are happy and healthy and loved and safe. And there's some people that want to label me as, oh, she's the worst mom ever and all this type of stuff. But my babies constantly tell me that I'm the best mommy in the whole wide world. And
Well, shit, they don't know any better.
matter who you are, if it's a man telling you that you're the worst mom ever, somebody else in your family telling you that, or trying to make you feel less than, if your children are telling you, mommy, you're doing a good job, mommy, you're the best mommy, mommy, I love you, that is what matters. So don't let anybody try to make you feel less than. And when I say that, I'm saying it to myself as well. I have allowed a lot of people to silence me, and the time for that is over. It is 2025. It is going to be a wonderful year. We are going to get the justice that we deserve. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. The same God that did it the last time is going to do it this time, and the next time, and the next time, the next time. So there's nothing to worry about. Just got to keep going.
Girl, we'll see if she can put together a video. We'll see what she does with her video. Okay, I want to talk about this just a little bit. Let me see if I can pull this up. Now, do y'all think Peach is getting evicted from her place? I see what you guys are saying. Well, she's not there yet. She's not there on turning the other cheek. Miss Buki. Peach is in the process of an eviction. The apartment company last filing basically stated that they wanted her to go. Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me pull up the letter. I'm not going to go through this whole file with you guys, but girl, Peach got an eviction notice. You guys know this, right? Right before Peach gave birth, Peach was served. Hold on, let me change my picture. Okay. Peach was pregnant with twins, playing around, running back and forth to the casino, going back and forth to the Hard Rock. And instead of paying rent, she went to the casino. She didn't pay her rent, and she thought she was going to be cute paying her rent late and thought they were going to deal with it. No, I looked it up. Hold on a second. I looked up the eviction proceedings. She's in eviction court. Hold up. You said you're not doing this with Peach every month? Okay. I'm gonna pull it up like this. Y'all see that? Sarasota. It was filed right before. It was December 12th, 2024. Okay. Let me show you guys this. They filed an eviction notice on her. Let's see. When is this one from? So they basically, she has a she has her last appearance on Valentine's Day. Hold on. This was the complaint. Let me see if you guys can see this. Okay. But yeah, she said in her video she did not pay her rent. So there's the complaint filed on 12/12. Let me pull it up. It's like 18 pages, but it includes her lease. Oh, I think I might have that already here. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. County Court of Sarasota. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to read it to you guys like this, just so I won't show certain things. This is an action to evict a tenant from property in Sarasota County, Florida, commenced under authority of Part 2 of Chapter 83, Residential Landlord Tenant Act, Chapter 51, Florida statutes. Let me scroll past this part because I don't want to show the address. But basically, this is going to be like a breach of contract situation. She just like willfully didn't pay her rent and then went on live and talked all about it. Plaintiff is the landlord and subject to property and common areas and grounds. Defendant is obliged to pay rent each month to defendant is obliged to pay rent each month to the plaintiff plus late charges when the monthly payments are made late provided in the lease agreement. Defendant failed to pay rent when due, and plaintiff served defendants with 3-day notice to pay rent and give permission, a copy of which is attached as provided by Florida Statutes Chapter 83, Part 2. Defendant did not do either. She didn't do either. So right before she delivered, she did that big show going down to the courthouse to respond because it went past the 3-day notice. And she went and paid all her rent down into the escrow account at the clerk's office. And now, let's say on the 17th, I think it was, they filed a note basically stating that they want their property. They want her to leave. And they asked her to respond. This was on the first filing. They asked her to respond like why she hadn't paid her rent and why she should not be asked to leave immediately. And I'm gonna let y'all see her answer. Like, this is what she, in her video, and I think I showed it to you guys, she actually sat and wrote a letter, and this is the letter that she wrote. I'm gonna show you this one, and then there's another one. Okay. This is the letter that she wrote. Y'all, this is a mess. Hold on. Oh, I can't do it that big because it's such a mess. You can't even read it. Okay. So she says, Peaches J. Mcintyre. This was December 19th. I, Peaches Mcintyre, the defendant in the case, 2024 CC 07992 NC, thinks that I should not be forced to move because I can pay the past due rent in the amount of $2722.67, in which I am paying to the clerk of courts today. Do you guys remember when she went down to the courthouse? December 9, 2024. I can also pay the plaintiff's attorney, Charles Barrett, the reasonable fee. They wanted her to say why her rent was late and does she have the ability moving forward to handle that business. And she basically didn't even respond appropriately. She just basically, as you can see right here, let me show you this. So can you guys see this? Okay. So here's the cover sheet. This is the complaint that has the lease attached to it. This is the summons for her to go to court. These are the fees. So she paid some fees. There's the receipt. There's the certificate of mailing. This is the answer that I just read to you guys from what date? December 19th, right? Then she sent another note. Hold on. Wait till you see this other note. I don't think I have that one pulled up. Hold on. Oh man, it's saying, wait, I need to refresh. Hold up. Y'all. Why even tell anybody that? I didn't even know this was going on, but it takes 5 seconds to look this shit up. Like, it's just like, well, damn. If you're going to basically invite people to the file to see what's going on, damn it, I'm going to go look. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even know she was in eviction court, but why tell everybody? But okay, so this is my point though with Peach. Peach is the type that she probably doesn't want to be embarrassed with attending court and then knowing that she's going to they're going to probably make her move. And I think she'll be packing as soon as she can get herself together to start packing. And it's unfortunate because she found a decent sized place with a garage, and I'm assuming there's other places like that, but she basically found like a nice townhouse type setup, and she gonna have to move. Okay, here's the other one. Let me just make sure it doesn't have a dress or anything on it. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Girl. This is the one she was on like a live, and okay, so I Peaches, defendant in case 2024 CC 007992, am paying $1 for the December's rent and also paying a total of $34.51 for the rent for the month of January. I have also been made aware that I have to pay a total of $420.50. I think she short paid the other one. So she paid the other amount. So she needed to pay an additional dollar for December. I guess she short paid it. Then the next month she had to pay, including the late fee. She also had to pay the $420.50. So she went and she had like about $4,000 she dropped off, and it was like the next day, or was it that day she ended up in the hospital? It's like, where's Wood? But I guess Wood was watching the other kids. And that's it right there. Like, and that she posted that. See the date she posted it? 12/20. That's the day she went to the hospital. After she did all that, girl, she was in the fucking hospital having the twins. Okay. So back to the docket. They set a hearing. Can y'all see this? They set a hearing for February 24th. So, excuse me, February 14th. But this last filing right here, let me show you guys. This one right here, this motion, the company doesn't want to deal with her. They want their property back. So I guess the judge will have to make the decision. So we'll see if she shows up to court or not. We'll see if she pays her February rent will be due in a week. By the time she has to go to court, February rent will already be due. So we'll see if she pays her February rent. I mean, she's got 2 kids coming home from the NICU. I would hope she would try to stay, but knowing how we've seen Peach do in the past, she's probably out looking for another apartment. So she's probably looking for another place, because in her last video, she was talking about that she was going to move to a hotel if she had to, or she was going to find some other place to live, whether it was short term or not. And she said, by God as her witness, she was going to be buying a house this year because she doesn't want to have to go through this anymore. Girl, let me see. I just can't believe that she sat up there and did not pay her rent on purpose and thought it was a good idea to just that I don't know, maybe she thought that they weren't going to do anything. I have no idea. I just think it's crazy that you have this amount of kids, you got 9 kids in the house, and you think, hey boo, hey 504, like, that you think it's a good idea to play around with not paying your rent. Who does that? Well, Peach does, I guess, right? Let's see. Peach is better off buying her a trailer. I don't think she can fit all them kids in the trailer. There's 9 kids at the house. There's 6 going to school. Is there 6 going to school? I don't even know. All them kids, so many. And I wouldn't be surprised if she has 1 or 2 more. She said the hotel, which makes no sense. Get an Airbnb. Huh. You know what that means? Her credit is shot. And the fact that she doesn't have Wood to fall back on, that means his credit's messed up too. So the apartment complex doesn't want her to stay. Now the judge could allow it and say, look, she's paid. She's got 9 more kids. I mean, she's got 9 kids or 10 with her husband. And I don't know. This is what, if I were her, which I'm not, I would try to propose dropping off like a check for $10,000. I would try to prepay the next 3 months if they would accept it. Since you make so much money, I would go ahead and prepay a 90-day buffer and tell them that I'm going to prepay my last 3 months and I would still pay my rent on time. And I will leave at the end of the lease or something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure there's luxury trailers out here. That's not the point, because I'm not going to live in one. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming you're not. At the end of the day, it almost doesn't matter. This woman doesn't have the discipline to pay her bills. They will come get a trailer. They'll drop a trailer off on your land and they will come and take that trailer away. Okay? It almost doesn't matter. But her family isn't big enough for a trailer. She would need a double wide or some sort of prefab home. She doesn't have the discipline to pay her. The fact that she will get on this internet and articulate that she thought that there were more important things to do than pay for the shelter where her kids lay their head to rest at night tells you what type of mentality that we're dealing with. She doesn't care. If she really cared about her kids, she wouldn't be putting them through the uncertainty of moms getting an eviction package dropped off at the front door. That's insane. How do you have 2 kids in the NICU and you didn't bother to pay your rent because you were at the casino and thought it was more important to gamble and risk your rent money than pay because you took advantage of the fact that you knew that your TikTok check was coming? So you decided you were going to pay your rent 2.5, 3 weeks late. Nobody wants to deal with that. Well, the judge can. I mean, why? If the judge can't, think of it this way. If the judge cannot find for the apartment, against the apartment complex, why bother to take it to court? Then it would just be like, okay, you violated the rules of blah, 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 Florida. And there's no need for a judge's decision because when this happens, that happens. So if they're putting it in front of a judge and they're having a hearing, the judge obviously must be able to make some sort of decision. If the apartment complex is within their rights, then more than likely it's going to go in their decision, but in their favor. But the judge is there to make a decision whether everything is lawful or not. And if the apartment complex doesn't make any concessions, this is what they do with everybody. This is how we handle these situations. We don't want to have any gray areas. Then maybe they'll say we just don't want her back. She's violated the contract. To me, I hear what you're saying about too many people being in the apartment, because when you look at the lease only has Peach on there. Hello? I read her lease. Wood's not on there, and all of the children. Now, do children need to be on a lease? Obviously, the children are not part of the credit of the lease, but they're not. it's just showing that one person is residing in the dwelling. That's what I mean by the kids are not on the lease. If you live in an apartment, normally you might have, oh, it's one adult and 3 children. These are the 3 children that live here. Okay. There's no reference to Wood or any of the other people that live in the house. Only one key was issued at the time of the lease. Now, I don't know if Wood has something on his background or his credit is bad. I feel like Wood had something, but I don't know enough to say. Maybe he wouldn't qualify to be in the apartment for whatever reason. Wood's name is not on there as an adult over 21 staying there longer than 2 weeks. And there's no reference that there's children. Okay. However, that's not on any of the complaint. The judge isn't going to just pull that out of their hat. You know what I mean? They filed for non-payment of rent, and I'm assuming that that's what they're going to go with, is breaking the lease through non-payment of rent. I don't know what they know about her family situation over there, but it doesn't look like there's any sort of breach of contract based on the fact that she has more people living in there than the lease allowed for. That might be step 2. If for some reason they try to give her some grace and say, no, she's, we're not going to move in favor of the property managers and allow her to stay, they could say that, okay, 504, I didn't want to say, but okay. It's possible they could say, well, it's a lease file, just like how with Shirley Strawberry and Nesto. Shirley wasn't paying the rent, and that was a problem. That's why they ended up suing her. She was in dispossessory court, but at the end, with all of the red tape of the COVID stuff, when they finally evicted Shirley and Nesto from the house, was based on a lease violation because she never put Nesto on the lease. Nesto was clearly living there, and the house rather, was leased to her, and he was living there. So they got her on a lease violation, and the lease was terminated, and she was evicted finally. They couldn't even get her out on non-payment of rent. They ended up having to sue her for non-payment of rent. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that whole Peach thing going on is a mess. I mean, I'm going to just say the fact that she's just had 2 kids, they're in the NICU, she got small babies. I do feel bad for her. Let me show this. Girl, she loves to play and use this stuff as a storyline. Look at this. So she's getting ready. Bills paid, now let's go gamble. So she thought it was a good idea to go to the Hard Rock. She's hooked. She probably can't wait to go gamble right now. Was this before she had I feel like this was before she had the baby. Let's go see.
I don't give a fuck. I'm still in the motherfucking house. I'm still.
A little bit of stomach, but that's okay. She
That's
gon' let a real nigga
embarrassing.
eat. I appreciate a woman with a whole lot of cake. Baby, that's a whole lot of shake. If I die, then
Girl.
a little bit of stomach, but that's okay. She gon' let a real nigga eat. I appreciate a woman with a whole lot of cake. Baby, that's a whole.
See what happens when you go watch a Peach video? I'm like, golly. It's like, can I get up off the Peach video, please? I want to go the other way. Hold on.
What's up? What's up? What's up? You already know.
Anyway, she's been talking about, I'm sure you guys, any of you guys who follow her know exactly what's going on top of the fact her whole CPS situation. So y'all know what's going on. And I feel like my last video that I did on Peach, we talked about it right before she had the baby, or I think she had just had the baby and the whole eviction thing was going on. Is Peach trolling? I think she's going to use anything for content. Is she trolling? No, because the eviction is real. All you have to do is go to Sarasota and it's there. Just search it. It's free. You don't even have to register. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I think she's, at a certain point, it's like, damn, aren't you tired? Yesterday she was driving, Gregory was driving himself to school, and she had to tell him that they may have to move. It just depends on if they let them stay or not. It's like, don't you feel like enough of an asshole already making your kids deal with having to move all the time? But it's one thing when it was for Peach to say, well, we had to move a lot as kids, but it was just you, your sister, and your brother and your mom. It's you, your husband, and 9 other children. That's a lot. Right. You're driving. Well, he's driving himself. He's practicing his driving. He's driving to school and you're filming and you're telling him, because she said, because we do live on the internet, and he's got social media too. So I wanted him to know that we could be getting evicted, and it's not because mommy doesn't have the money. That's not something to talk to your kid about on the way to school, to me. Maybe after school and maybe when but I think if you're already socializing it with the kids, they're probably getting ready to already start packing them boxes, and she's probably having to scramble to find something else. And then she threw in, and I had to tell Wood, you're going to have to stay. Why in the world do you, as a grown woman with 9 children, he's got however many outside the house, and you have to tell him it's time for him to step up? Are you kidding me? Why do you have to tell a grown man that it's time for him to start helping? Girl, bye. All right. Anyway, guys, I'm going to see you guys over on Real Talk Bougie. I just wanted to get caught up with you guys this morning. I hope you guys feel caught up. Paloma and Peach, social media moms. Okay. I don't understand. She's passing emotional trauma. I don't understand why she keeps having all these kids, because I don't know. She says she loves her husband. I know. Isn't that awful? Yes. They might not even be watching Peach's channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, she dropped them off at a very nice looking school, and those people might not even be watching Peach. They might be, they might not be. As ratchet as some people are these days, I mean, all right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. This was fun. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.
Took everything, ain't nothing left. Count your blessings, count your steps. At your throat like we that strap. It's way too cold under the flesh. we ball, but we don't mesh.